She said, really did, bless her, was uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. Yeah, do you have her wedding ring, please? Okay, so that's lovely. And she speaks about that, you see. She says, not that you need my ring to remember me by, because she says, I know that never a day goes past without you thinking about me. And there's a very close bond here between you and her. And she puts her arm through yours. I don't know whether you used to go shopping together. You did, okay, because she's reenacting this, you see. And, okay, she's saying to tell you what I tell quite a few people in the same situation. She's closer to them, the nearest thing you see. And I'm looking at a reenactment, if you like, of a home that's very, very cosy. I think it's her home, or was her home, with an open fire. Yeah. Okay, and she says, oh, I love that open fire. I could sit all over it all day long. And there's also a gentleman who might go back to her father, I'm not sure, an elderly gentleman who used to sit with a toasting fork with the piece of bread on it in front of the fire.
Yes, I think that was her father.
Her father, yeah. Well, he's coming here as well, you see, to let you know that it's not just our nearest and dearest, those that go back and those that go sideways, and all the people that we've known have got an interest in us. The people in the spirit world have such wonderful feelings when they pass over, particularly if they didn't know about it, that they're so wanting everybody to take on board, to realise, you know, that we don't end at the grave, we just start. Do you understand? And talking about graves, I'm looking at a child's grave with a little stone on it, just a little short, might have even been a baby more than a child, in the family. Do you know of a child?
She's in the same grave as that child.
Ah, I see, right, okay. But that aside, would you also know of a small grave that's on its own? I don't mean, it's not an adult. I'm looking at a small grave. Was there someone in the family called Jane, or Sarah Jane, or something? Going back, not yesterday's, it's a yesterday's child, not a today's child.
And Sarah Elizabeth.
Sorry?
Sarah Elizabeth.
Sarah? Okay, maybe the mother was Jane, I don't know. I did get Sarah, but I know I'm looking at this little grave. Why they bothered to bring that, I don't know. But anyway, they did. Can I ask you, please, do you have links with Portsmouth?
Well, my son lives there.
Your son lives there. Well, that's a link, isn't it? There, because they're speaking about Portsmouth, and they're speaking about a lot of activity around your son. I don't know if he's a real active person, you know, a sort of action man type of person. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. Anyway, there's a lot of activity around him. I'm not saying it's necessarily him, but there's a lot of activity, and I think there's a lot of movement, so don't be surprised if he doesn't move on from where he is at the moment. I'm not saying he's going to leave Portsmouth, but he may move within that area, because they're just bringing it here to let you know that they do know what's going on. They do see that bit further. They can know that, you know, that energy is working in a quick way here. But I've also got somebody here who's poorly at the moment on Earth. Do you know somebody that's poorly on at the moment? Their legs or something are playing up?
It's mine.
It's your legs, is it? Oh dear. They really ache.
No, I fell and pulled my hamstring.
Oh.
But they really hurt, yeah, the knees.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, come and get some healing, because here on, what day is it today? Saturday. Here on a Sunday, before they have the afternoon one tomorrow, if you come early enough, you can get healing, and they're pretty strong healers here, so if you can make it, do come along, because they're talking about some healing here for legs. Your circulation, apart from your hamstring, have you had a problem with your circulation in your legs?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. That's where the healing is more necessary even than the hamstring. Do you understand what I'm saying here? So the hamstring is going to be fine, it will sort itself out, but it is the circulation bit, the inside bit, that's what they're trying to get through here very much. Thank you very much. And I'd like to come to our friend there with the lovely brown hair with the fringe. Yes? Okay. Your father is cock-a-hoot about something. So whatever's going on at the moment in your life or around you, he's very, very happy about it. Does that make sense to you? Are you having good times?
I've just had a hip replacement.
No, sorry, darling. Sorry.
Oh, not me.
No, I'm
Oh,
sorry. The lady behind. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you understand why he's cock-a-hoot about something.
Yes.
Okay. He's also talking about sorting vehicles out,
Yes.
but a big sort. I'm not talking about selling the current car. I'm talking about a big sort out of vehicles. Yes? And he's saying you will understand when we get to about the summertime as to why it's necessary to sort out. Okay? I don't know what he's talking about. As long as you do or you think you will, or you just have to wait until the summertime comes to find out what he's talking about here. He says, the good thing is, this sort of thing is going to increase quite a lot, yes? And so there's going to be more work, more positive, more progressive ways in which, and he says, be sure that we save it, because that which you save will be able to be used in a positive, no, not just positive, a progressive way to take you into the future, because where you are now and your situation of how you are now is going to change dramatically. Not just yet, but later on. And so keep that as a goal in your head, because he's quite a positive man. I think when he was in his prime, you know, when he wasn't an older gentleman, when he was in his prime, he could be quite positive. And he's quite a force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
Well, he certainly thought he was anyway, the way he's coming here. And I think as he lost his energy and as his body became less robust, it kind of all seeped away. But he says, I'm not like that now. I come in my full strength and my full glory and all of those things. He's very, very much around your home. Have you got a small dog in the spirit world? I don't know what it is. I'm not very much into dogs. I know it has a leg at each corner, but that's about it. It's about, you know, so big. It's not very big. It's more like I don't think it's a Jack Russell, but it's one of those little dogs in the spirit world.
Yes.
Okay. Just here wandering about, you see, and just wants to, well, I'm sure you know the animals that we give our love to. We lift their consciousness so they retain individuality. It's coming very much here to you. Did your father have a lot of, excuse the expression, gunk on his chest before he
Yes,
passed? 'Cause
a lot.
I feel like I want to tap
Yes.
my chest to sort of clear it, you know, like this. He wasn't a smoker, was he, throughout his life?
Yes.
Mm.
Very much so.
Okay. And he's talking about his wallet. Did you find, when he passed, did you get his wallet and go, oh wow, quite a lot of money in here?
No, but I did open his wallet and sort out his bits and pieces that I had to
So
do.
there wasn't more in there than you expected?
No.
Oh. He's telling porkies. Well, I'm looking at a wallet. Did you ever find an old note that's gone out of circulation now?
Yes.
That's what he's talking about here. Because he's a character, is your dad. He's a character, and he's talking about your footwear. Do you have a lot of shoes?
Yes.
He says you can only wear one pair at a time. But he says, you know, you need to look at them, because if you put them up like this, heel, you think, oh, that's quite worn really. And if you wear shoes that are worn, you could trip. So will you look at your shoes and say, look, they're not an emotional thing, they're just a pair of shoes. Everybody has to wear shoes. And ditch the things that are not appropriate. And to the gentleman next to you, do you have mum in the spirit world, my friend? Yeah, speak up.
Yes, I do.
You do, okay. Because I feel mother is very much around here with you, and I think this lady's, I think this lady suffered before she went to the spirit world.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And she says, I just about managed to cope in here with the suffering. And she says, thank God, and I mean that, she says, not me. She says, I mean that reverently. I'm glad I don't have that now. So she's fine, my friend. But she says, she's grateful to you for all that you did. You didn't think you did much, but to her it was everything. Do you understand that? And I don't know whether Mother wrote a letter before she became ill for somebody to read, maybe yourself or something, when she'd passed. Does that make sense to you? Do you remember there might have been a letter where you know, somebody had written to, she had written rather, to somebody who opened it when she passed? Can you place that? Do you have a sister?
No.
I can place that with
Can
my
you?
mother.
Ah, it's your mother.
She
is it?
left letters.
It's the trouble
after
when it's a
she-
couple, they jump from...
Yeah, after she died, we had letters after she died.
Yeah, that's right, you open the letters passing, okay. And the letter that she wrote for you, I don't know how many siblings you got, doesn't matter, but the letter she wrote to you really was one of the most emotional things
Absolutely.
ever.
It's
Not
astonishing.
because it was your mother, but because of what she said.
Yes.
Because it was so heartfelt.
Yes.
She said that is exactly how I felt. And that was, I so wanted you to realise the gratitude I had for you and the love I had for you. And she says, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed, my friend. She's a lovely lady as she comes here to you. And she says, you know, after your experiences over the last 5 years, shall we say, you're now in the place you should be at. When she says the place, I don't necessarily mean the house that you're in, but the area, the back here. She says, and she says, like our friend down here, we never left you, even when there were difficult circumstances. But she said, we're so glad you're back. We're so glad you're back. And so she's a lovely. And I'm not sure if I'm still with you, but I've got a gentleman here who committed suicide. Here, this man's about 5'9"ish, a good 5'9"ish, maybe 5'10". The hair is a very faded. He might have been pale red when he was younger, but it's like faded with a certain amount of grey in it, and quite stiff, the hair. You know, quite you know what I mean by stiff. It's not soft and what have you. And did you know anybody, please, like that? Is there anyone here who knows this gentleman? He's, as I say, about 5'9" or something. He's very, when he was here on earth in his prime, he was quite an impatient, fast sort of person. Somebody who wanted to be on to the next thing before he'd even finished or even done this thing. Who knows this gentleman, please? And is that arm up or just resting on the chair? Just resting on the chair. Okay.
Possibly.
Who spoke?
Possibly.
Okay. This person I've got hung himself.
Yes.
Ah.
In the garage.
Okay. Would you understand he was quite a quick sort of slightly impatient, most redheads are impatient, I have to tell you. I feel he was, well, of course, if you're going to commit suicide, you would be like agitated and what have you. But he was very, very agitated, very, I don't know if you know the circumstance, whether it's somebody close to you or something like that. I feel very agitated, I feel very lost, in a way.
Yes,
Lost.
he was. He just lost his second wife.
I just have to use that word, lost, where he's concerned. And he says, I know it wasn't right if we're talking about right and wrong, but he said I couldn't see another way. I couldn't see another way. I can now, but I'm not. I'm not sorry. I'm where I am. I just want you to know that I'm fine and I'm okay. And he says, happy. I'm happy with the way things are. Did he have a son, please? He's saying, I'm sorry for him, but he said, I was lost. Must have lost his partner, is it? Okay. So will you take that as sometimes they come in, that was a bit of an interruption. I just feel I've got one more thing, and I don't know what it is at the moment, to say to you before I move on, my friend, the lady I was speaking to earlier here. Do you play a musical instrument?
I do, yes.
Is it a keyboard?
Yes.
Okay. Keep on, keeping on. I see, I've no idea what the keyboard's like, you know, if it's one of those ones on legs or if it's a proper piano or a grand piano or whatever. But I do think that you're going to update that a little later on and be so thrilled with whatever it is you buy to replace it. What have you actually got at the moment?
A very old one.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have a really nice piano, if that's what it is. I call it a keyboard, I don't know the difference. Anyway, your mother says, and like the old advert says, you know, I deserve it, or whatever the terminology is. She says you will have deserved it by the time you get it. Okay, so I just leave that there with you, with her love. She's and certainly with hubby's mother's love. Very soft lady, a lovely lady. You know, she was, my words, not hers, but she doesn't quite agree with me, but I want to say an angel, really, your mother. She was really lovely lady, so take her love with you, won't you? And yeah, I'll have to cut from you because I could stay there. Oh no, is there anyone in the hall that knows the surname of Knight with a K? Knight. Oh, the late. Oh, two that I've been to. Anybody else know that surname of Knight? This will clarify between the two that put their hand up, and I know I've spoken to you both tonight, so I'll keep it brief. Do either of you know a person or persons who are actually Romanes?
Yes.
You do? Okay, so I'll leave that with you, and the person with the name of Knight.
Yes.
Is that someone that was quite close to you? Or you
Yes, it's my granddad's side of the family.
Okay, well, will you take the person called Knight? I feel was a very powerful individual.
Yes.
A great deal of inner power and strength. And I'm not saying the person could have taken on the whole world, but they certainly have that within you. And they're imbuing you with that because there's something you have to do that will take every ounce of your strength. And I'm not talking about physical strength, I'm talking about spiritual strength. You understand that?
Yes.
Just know.
Yes.
They're putting a rod of steel up your back, which will keep you nice and firm. And okay, come to our friend with the camera.
Oh,
From here, without my glass on, looks like you.
do I keep filming with you talking to me? Is that allowed?
Yeah, I didn't realise you might look like a bottle of wine. Keep filming them if that's what you want to do. But I've got to tell you about your mother.
Okay.
Here, she's such a joyful soul, and it's a true joyfulness. And she wants to come here and get hold of you and put her arms round you, see. And she says, oh, happy days, because she says, you know, the pathway took a bad turn, but now we're back on track.
Good.
She says, happy days. And I feel there was a hymn or something with that. Oh, happy days.
Yeah, that's what she used to
happy
sing.
days,
Mhm.
da, 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 do, da, da, da. And she's a lady that was always singing hymns, and she's just so pleased and so happy and all of those things. And she has her other son with her here in the spirit world, and she says he's been a great help. I don't know what she means by that, but whether he passed before her, but she says he's been a great help here to me, you see. And you know, he's often in your home. This is your brother.
Yeah.
He's often in your home there, and he says, I just like being where you are. I just like being where you are in your auric field, you see, at the moment. And I don't know whether your brother fell or something, because I had this feeling of falling here.
Yeah, he
Understand?
did.
He did.
He was skiing and had a heart attack.
Oh, really? Oh, I just felt as if I keeled over or something like that here. But he says, of course I'm fine now. I'm come in all my glory, you see. And I'm getting lots of music, lots of singing all around you. Do you know there must be times in your home when you can actually hear people singing?
Well, I think I'm as psychic as a doorknob, so probably I wouldn't hear that anyway.
Well, I'm hearing around your home lots of singing, beautiful singing from the other world. Do you understand?
Okay.
That? Okay, and who is Charles?
Well, that's my middle name,
Oh,
but
is it? Were
but-
you named after someone who's now in the spirit world?
I wouldn't know.
No. Okay, well, the name of Charles is coming through here, and I feel this was someone that your mother knew, you see. And I know I've got a wonky arm and shoulder at the moment, but I'm getting problems here in the arm. Is this you, my friend? Did mother have problems with her arm?
She could well have, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting quite a lot of pain here in the arm. Anyway, take a minute. I've also got a lady here who was a nurse in the days when they were like Red Cross nurses, if you understand, like the olden days.
Yeah.
And with a hat that kind of sort of flared out at the back, or like a big bow or something. So I'm going back a long time, perhaps right back to the turn of the century. I don't know if in your family there were any people that were involved with that, or whether this was someone who knew your mother but wasn't family.
I'll check it out. I'll
Yeah,
check it
please
out.
do,
Yeah.
because and there's also the name of Doreen coming through here.
Okay.
You know Doreen?
I don't know a Doreen. No.
I might have left you. Let's just see. Can I come over to the little lady there? Through, yeah. Do you know of a Doreen in the spirit world, an aunt or someone like that? And I've got this lady then who's, I feel she was a nurse too, but a more present day nurse. A lady called Doreen, who I feel would have worked in Poole Hospital here. She's a bit taller than myself, a little bit, I'm pleased to say, a little bit bigger than myself around here, and I feel there's somebody here who should know. Is there anybody that worked in the hospital in Poole? Any of you, did you? No? No hospital workers here today? Where I'm going with this person.
I know the name Doreen.
Do you?
Yeah.
In the spirit world? In the spirit world?
In the spirit world, yeah.
Did she have nursing?
I don't know.
And I don't want a care worker, and I don't want a social worker, because that all kind of comes under the umbrella, I suppose, of caring and sharing. But I want someone who was actually a nurse.
I couldn't say whether she
No,
did or not.
it's a shame. That's a
Jeanine,
pity.
There's
Oh.
a hand up here.
Oh, hand up here.
My friend worked in the hospital.
Speak up, sweet.
My friend worked in the hospital.
Your friend works
My
in...
my sister worked in Poole Hospital, and she was auxiliary nurse.
And your sister's in the spirit world now?
Yes.
Her name wasn't Doreen, though?
No.
No. Okay. Was your sister taller than myself?
Little bit
Was she a little bit...
bigger, yeah.
Okay. We'll put the name of Doreen aside, because sometimes what happens, friends, people can't always sort of project their image very well, and they like to just call a name. So we'll take that as putting the name aside for a moment. And she was a nurse, was in Poole Hospital, and she's in the spirit world now. And that's good enough, I think, for me. Let's see how we go. Right. Quite an emotional lady when she was here on Earth. You know, some people are more emotional, aren't they, than others. Do you understand? Yes. And she's coming here to you, and she gets hold of you and holds on to you. And I don't know whether you didn't always see eye to eye. Do you understand that expression? Doesn't always see things the same way. Yeah? But she says, I think quite differently now. I'm in this world than I did when I was here on Earth. Does that make sense to you? It's like, I don't know whether you're more laid back and she wasn't.
The other way around.
The other way around, oh, really? But I don't know whether you've changed a bit since she's been gone. You're a bit more relaxed, I think. That's what made me think it was you that was relaxed, and perhaps she wasn't. But anyway, if you say she was relaxed, then that's fine. But she didn't have a child, did she? Little boy? No. Two, okay. And I feel she was very, when she was diagnosed with whatever, I think she was very, very, very shaken about the situation, the prognosis. Do you understand? Okay? Because she said it took quite all of her inner strength to kind of come to terms with that. Yes? Understand? And she said, but I'm fine now. And she's with, is your mother in the spirit world, please? Well, there's a lady that's very motherly. Maybe it's her grandmother. She's with her, you see. And I don't know if this is the first time she's ever been through. Is this the first time she's come through? From the medium, yeah? You with me? Because she's finding it a struggle at the moment, and I can't do any more than I'm doing, because it's like she's quite emotional here. But she does say thank you for all that you're doing. You must be helping in some way. I don't know whether you're helping with one of her children or
Looks after the kids.
looking after the children. Okay, thank you for what you're doing, she says. And she says it was a great shock. was a great shock to me as to how things developed. You understand? So whether it was quicker than she thought it was going to be, I don't know, but she says it was a great shock. You understand that, my friend? Okay, and I don't know whether you bought for a tribute some roses or something, or whether she particularly, you did, she liked roses, and she's talking about that, you see, and with her illness on those last few days, I don't know whether she always kept wanting a drink. I feel like I've got to drink and drink and drink, and my mouth's so dry, I have to drink. Do you understand that? Okay. Will you take her love? She wants to bring so much love to you, my friend. Are you with me? Yeah, you understand? Okay, good. You haven't just had some new curtains or thinking of having new curtains, have you? Yeah, she's seen them. She knows about them. Okay, bless her. So that's lovely. And somebody calling out, Jack! In a great loud voice, Jack! In the spirit world. We'll see. Oh, hands back there too. Let's see where we go with this. I don't know if this Jack had something to do with, I don't know, Boy Scouts or the other type ones, air cadets or whatever, but young children, like, you know, cadets or scouts or those sort of things. Yes? No? Go home, Jeanine? He's singing, you see, he's singing that, I love to go wandering, da-da-da-da-da-da. Yes? No? That's always symbolic to me that it would have had...
He was in the army, so I don't know. Maybe in the army.
Okay. Pardon it. He's not very clear at the moment, but he was very clear in his voice when he shouted out Jack. I think I will just come there to you because I feel drawn more than over here, my friend. Did you know him well?
My father's name was Jack.
Yeah.
Well, it was John, but everybody called him Jack. So I don't know if it's him.
Well, did you know Dad very well? Because sometimes you can have a parent, but you don't feel you really ever get to know them. You know, you'd like to know them or be closer to them.
I was close to him.
Okay. I've forgotten now what I was going to say.
But I suppose as a child, his background as a child, maybe not. No. As much.
You know, he's not very forthcoming here at the moment. Let's just see if we can link in via him to you here. Are you having a great clear out at the moment of things, please? Are you having, thinking, oh, do I want all this stuff and put it in a box and take it to the charity shop, and then looking through your music stuff now, oh God, I've listened to these records for years, taking it to the charity shop, or will be. Does that make sense to you?
We are thinking of it because we're thinking of it.
Well, I should do a bit more than thinking about it, Danny. Can we do it? Can we clear the decks? Because I feel that he's very much... I feel that your father was quite an orderly man.
Mm.
There was a place for everything, and also what was right, and what was wrong was a long, long way away from being right. Do you understand that here? And I feel that he was quite orderly. I think he realised that a soul loves order,
Yeah.
and he was an orderly man, not just because he had been in the army. And it's like he's wanting you to get on with sorting things, because all the clutter, his words, not mine, in the house, doesn't help the head. You understand?
My kids have moved back home. And
Oh, it's their fault.
and it's driving me nuts.
Well, perhaps you can't do anything about the fact they've moved back
I know,
in.
but it's the mess that they brought with them.
Yeah, but if you get rid of some of your stuff, there'll be room for some of their stuff. Or go to Argos and buy a big cupboard with lots of shelves and put it on and close the door. Something like that, because
One's actually moved in tonight from London.
they do that sort of
And he
thing.
said he was going to bring a small bag full. He brought a van.
That's
full.
what kids do. That's exactly what kids do. Bless them. So you can understand why they're saying sort out things, get order where it is, you see. Because your father's smiling now, he's got his message across, you see. He's very much... Oh, he said, I'll be so pleased when you do it. But he said, let's get some order in the place, he said. And he said, because some of them were, I don't know how many have moved back in, but they won't be moving out very quick. Sorry. So you might as well make it as a permanent thing that you've got